Not long ago, deep in the Appalachian wilds, a group of drunken misfits joined forces to play Dungeons and Dragons. Inspired by boredom and equipped with loose morals and a questionable understanding of the rules, our heroes venture forth to explore strange new lands. So gather up your dice, your manuals, and your livers, and join us on a quest as we make absolute fools of ourselves. This is Botched, a D&D podcast.
BMC News tonight. At the top of the headlines, we'll discuss the deal signed by the US and Brazilian governments opening up thousands of acres of rainforest in the Atlantic region. The Brazilian government receives medical and military aid, as well as yet undisclosed political and consulting benefits, including immense tariff reductions. In return, the US gets exclusive logging rights to the timber in the region, which comes at a great time, as the Canadian logging industry is still lagging well behind demand due to their government's focus on environmental instead of business-friendly practices that have resulted in record-high lumber costs across America. This deal will rapidly result in the higher affordability of lumber in America, as logging companies and supply chains are poised to begin work immediately to bring those boards home. Activists across the globe are up in arms, stating that destroying that amount of rainforest for lumber is short-sighted and disastrous to an ecosystem already reeling from climate change and unchecked consumption. Is it worth it? We'll let you decide. But lumber futures are looking great as we move over to Kim Dramer with some hot stock tips on which construction companies might see a boost as a result.
Activists continue to protest in the South American jungles of the Atlantic rainforest. Americans traveling to Brazil to protest the deforestation brought on by the new bill signed by Congress between Brazil and the United States. Numerous reports of these activists chaining themselves to trees in order to stop the deforestation. However, cutting just goes around said trees. Many activists end up returning home sick with the flu from being in the rainforest for hours on end, tied to a tree. We will continue to report on this as we get new information.
I'll take TV for $500. The answer is, this 2006 BBC documentary TV series is narrated by Sir David Attenborough and includes episodes detailing 11 biomes from around the world, including an episode detailing numerous flora, fauna, and fungi living in the jungles. James, what is life? No, I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Lisa, what is planet Earth? That is correct. All right, Lisa, next.
Causing mass devastation as hurricanes continue to pelt the entire Gulf of Mexico. The danger of these storms has caused numerous infrastructural issues, but also has caused diverting of several ships, both cruise and cargo ships, from their original courses to drop off.
All right, next story we have here. A cruise ship collided with a cargo ship. They blamed the flu, but really, it was probably all that free booze. Am I right? Ayo!
El gobierno brasileño ha finalizado un acuerdo con el gobierno de los Estados Unidos por derechos exclusivos sobre la talla de secciones del bosque atlántico. La madera se llevará a Puerto de Paraguay para ser enviado. El acuerdo abarca miles de hectáreas en tierras de selva tropical a cambio de ayuda médica y militar, así como opciones comerciales. Los biólogos locales lamentan el acuerdo como la posible pérdida de innumerables especies que viven en el bosque. El consenso.
Hello everyone, I'm Eric Wexford, and welcome back to The Crunch. Today on the program we have a mold, spores, and fungus inspector who is also an expert in mold abatement. Please welcome Davey Waters.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
Thank you. Mr. Waters, we all know the damage effects that Stachybotrys has on one's home, but we also know ways to clean and destroy it. Does this fungal outbreak have the same growth patterns as Stachybotrys?
Look at here. Now, Stachybotrys is something that I've been studying quite a bit on my off time when I'm out in my pickup waiting for the next job to come in. Now, I believe that the same characteristics do appear with Stachybotrys that I've seen in my career, and I do believe this is containable.
Containable, you say?
I do. Yes, I say containable. Anything's containable if you pave it good enough concrete.
What can people do to protect themselves and their family from this fungus?
Now look at here. Best thing you can do is take some Quikrete. Anywhere you see it, dump it around, spread it till you see no more mold wherever you're looking. Once it's covered the area, you can basically assure yourself it's good, and then you just you try not to breathe too heavily until it's all contained and taken care of.
So you're saying the best way to stop the spread is to concrete everything in your life and stop breathing? That
is taking it to an extreme. I believe you're reading too deep into my words. But what I mean is, it's best if you put concrete on it and then breathe gently.
So do you believe that the government has a role to play in to be held accountable about what's happening with this fungal infections?
Now look at here. I have never been a big fan of government. I like to get paid in cash. You're not going to edit. You can edit that. I don't really need a tax man coming for me. But I don't believe the government needs to be involved in every little thing. I think the man can take care of it his own self, and if they need any help, they can call David Waters of Mold Abatement Services, and we'll show up right down and take care of it for him. I don't believe Uncle Sam's ever done a good god darn thing for nobody around here.
Fascinating indeed. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Waters. Your insight has been informative and helpful for our viewers. And if you would like to reach out to Davy Waters, do so at tiny.cc/moldywaters. Up next, we have Linda Sherling, a pharmacy that will willingly break down the complexities of ant colonies.
Chuck Gunderson here with another Suction News 9 update. In response to the ongoing F6JE14 outbreak, the World Health Organization is now recommending you stay home and not go anywhere for at least 10 days after exposure to the virus. More on why you were going to do that anyway, you loser, on Suction News 9 tonight.
Yo, bros, welcome to the King Buff Daddy radio show. Today, we're going to talk about supplements, natural herbs that can make you fucking jacked like King Buff Daddy. So everyone's been seeing this green fungus grow with the red stuff in it. Don't know what it is, but bros, check me out. This shit will make you jacked, bro. Bro, science is just science. Don't listen to these pencil neck fuckers tell you it won't make you jacked, because it will. I've got bros in the gym right now injecting it into the buttholes, and they're getting jacked, bro, like the King Buff Daddy. Now, I haven't used it yet because some of them have died, but that's the price you pay to be jacked, bros.
Listen, I don't care what that person on TikTok says, okay? They aren't a botanist or a fungiologist, whatever. They didn't go to college for mushrooms, okay? This beautiful mushroom is 100% totally and completely safe and delicious and a totally vegan alternative to chicken nuggets. But legit though, like if you're squeamish, maybe get someone else to prepare them, because when you cut them, they totally look like they're bleeding. It's gruesome. I saw someone else talking about another mushroom that does that, and the blood is actually called latex. My boyfriend is like totally allergic to latex, and he uses that as an excuse to not try my totally delicious faux nugs. I try to get him to try other vegan foods instead of eating cute little animals, but then he pulls the whole my body, my choice argument on me. And I mean, like, I, of all people, can't exactly argue with him when he says that, can I? Wait, can I?
From New York, this is Democracy Chow. I'm your host, Jamie Chow, and on tonight's show, we'll discuss a variety of media topics often ignored or censored by the corporate 24-hour news media. A nationwide panic sets in as reports of hyperinflation soon to come, the crashing housing bubble leaving millions of families on the brink of homelessness. Moving to Brazil, slash-and-burn logging companies are experiencing disruption due to an unknown fungal infection breaking out in their Amazonian-based supply chains. Local residents say that the infection is deadly and that more needs to be done to contain the spread of this potential new pandemic before it strikes globally.
And they decided that the cause of the problem was a virus. The problem is they never, and it has never, been isolated to show that that's what is causing this. There was a man in 1890. He was a bacteriologist and physician called Robert Koch, and he developed 4 what became known as Koch postulates, which have been the gold standard for mainstream medicine ever since, of how you prove that an agent is causing a disease. Number 1, all the people that get the disease have to have the same symptoms. Number 2, you have to isolate what you say is the causing agent from all other genetic material. So there's no contamination. You've only got what you say is causing it.
Chuck Gunderson here with another Suction News 9 update. Several state governments have begun shutting down non-essential businesses to help contain the spread of F6JE14. Essential businesses include pharmacies, grocery stores, and any other businesses that make money for anyone in power. For a more comprehensive list, tune into Suction News 9 tonight.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Freedom Media, people, all right? I've been hearing a lot about this fungus, about this next big pandemic, obviously cooked up by the liberal deep state. They're lying to you. You know they are. It's just a form of control. This fungus ain't dangerous at all. This portobello plague, right? You know, all you gotta do is just take a few things you got around your household, and they don't want you to know this, you know, because they're trying to, gain control of everybody's lives and then sell us the cure, quote unquote. Try to make money off us freedom-loving Americans, and you'll be fine, all right? You take some bleach, you take some lemon juice, you get a can of tough-acting Tinactin, you pop that sucker open like you're shotgunning a beer into the bleach bottle, shake it up, pour it all over the infected area, and then you squeeze a lemon juice on it, and then you just wrap that lemon, the pith that's left over, with a slice of potato on it on top of that fungus with some medical gauze. You can just get that at Walmart, and you're just going to be fine, all right? You just go out. It doesn't matter. You ain't got a shelter in place. That'll just take care. Remember, lemon juice, bleach, tough-acting Tinactin, proud sponsor. Shotgun it. You'll be good. Shotgun that Tinactin, baby. Goddamn liberals.
So yeah, bros, here's the dosage. Okay, this is pretty precise, so you might want to get a crayon and write it down on your coloring books. Take a big handful, put it in your Ninja blender, put a bunch of Tabasco sauce, 1 scoop of pre-workout, and some protein. Always, bros, protein. Protein goes in everything, bros. It's science. Blend it, and then get a funnel and shoot it directly in your asshole.
Сегодня в Москве зомби сожрали 2000 человек. Думай, принят закон об истреблении зомби при первом появлении.
Chuck Gunderson here with another Suction News 9 update. I wear no mask, says Elvis Fontenot outside the Costco on Thursday. Fontenot echoes the sentiments of many Americans regarding the new CDC guidelines on F6JE14. You put on the mask and stick out your tongue once, it's fine. But you do it again and you're licking your own spit. Then before you know it, boom, you're gay masturbating. More informed man-on-the-street opinions on Suction News 9 tonight.
And in your own time, gently drifting back slowly down to the floor. And from here, transitioning into Shavasana, corpse pose. As you lay down on your back, give yourself lots of space. Not just in your body, but also in your mind. Gently close your eyes and push away those thoughts or anxieties about the world, whether it's at home, work, or the news of a spreading fungal infection. Just push those thoughts out of your mind and relax until you feel a gentle warmth spreading about your body, softening your face, neck, throat, chest, and tops of your shoulders, down your arms, and into your palms. Namaste.
Good morning, my fellow congregation. I want to welcome you to the Reverend Redneck Experience. Now, I know all you good God-fearing people have been wondering what the tarnation has been going on. You're looking around, you're seeing all this green fungus looking like the devil's lettuce on steroids with the red moving stuff in. I don't even know what the hell that is, but I can tell you without a doubt, this is the work of the devil. Them damn liberals destroyed the rainforests because they ran out of lumber for their campfires while they smoked their weed, played their guitars, terribly might I add, and talk about how the world is going to be a better place. So this administration decided to gut the rainforest, all the little squirrels and fish and frogs that wasn't by nobody get uprooted. Now nature has given us this fungus among us. And I know y'all been hearing the rumors too. People run around eating people's faces off like they was covered with grandma's strawberry preserves. And if you think the two ain't related, then you ain't paying attention. Now, what are we gonna do about this? Well, I say we can pray on it. Or we can do what the good forefathers sought when they created the greatest document the world has ever seen, the Constitution, and get out your rifles and start ridding the devil of his plague. Now, that is Reverend Redneck's recommendation for the day. Get your rifles, clean them real good so they don't fail on you, because you don't want your face eaten off. And let's start ridding the world of the liberal.
Chuck Gunderson, Suction News 9, reporting in the field after consumers have flocked to stores in light of the F6JE14 lockdowns. The number one item on their list? Toilet paper. Let's see what they have to say. Sir, what? Chuck Gunderson, Suction News 9. Why do you have 8 cases of toilet paper? Do you really believe the lockdown will last that long? No, it's not. What do you say to people who will have no toilet paper at all just because you're overreacting? But I just really like Taco Bell, okay? I do. Chunk Gunderson, Suction News 9. Learn more tonight.
Сегодня в Москве зомби сожрали 2000 человек.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Carrie. And today we're gonna make some special sauce for hot dogs. Now I know some people like relish, but I personally hate pickles. Not the way they taste, just the way they look at me. Anyways, so I find that this fungus that's growing all over the place, all nimbly-bimbly like. I mean, it's everywhere. Half the time I find it growing on me when I'm sleeping. So it's all over the place. You're easy to get it. Sorry about that. Got a little bit in my throat. So just scrape off a bit, throw it in a pot, some butter, and some minced hot dogs. Throw it in there, spin on it a couple times. You know, give it the business. And then, heck, throw in a couple beers while you're at it. Pabst Blue Ribbon, if you will. Mix that up for about 87 minutes, and then pour that right on top of a steaming hot dog. You'll thank me in the morning. Anyways, next time we're going to show you how to flambe a possum.
Chuck Gunderson with another Suction News 9 update. Virus? More like pyrus. How one plucky baker in Mississippi is using a very communicable secret ingredient to teach consumers that F6JE14 isn't just dangerous, it's delicious. More on Suction News 9 tonight.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Don't Kill Your Husband with This. No, really, I'm legally obligated to tell you not to do it. Or DKYHWTNRILLOTTYNTDI for short. Let's dive right in. Today, you guessed it, we're talking mycology. Not so much the trip balls and see fun new colors kind, and more the battered housewife and amateur mycophile. Debbie Reynolds was planting begonias in a raised bed in her garden on a particularly dewy morning when she found a new mushroom she had never seen before growing out of the fence. The mushroom was an interesting mix of colors, bright red in the center with hazy rings of purple fading out into a light chartreuse green around the edges. With one delicate hand, Debbie reached out and plucked the unsuspecting mushroom, whose colors reminded her so much of something. Something she couldn't quite place at first. But as she stood up to wipe the sweat from her brow, she winced. Of course. It reminded her of the bruise covering her right eye, the bruise that Carl had given her not 2 days before. It was then, in that moment, mesmerized by the poetry of it all, that Debbie Reynolds decided to test this beautiful mushroom's edibility on unsuspecting asshole husband Carl.
Brothers and sisters, it is apparent unto me and unto God, which who speaketh througheth me, if you know what I'm saying, that this fungus has been put here on earth by the devil. You know who else has been put here on earth by the devil? The Democrats. Exactly. And you know what else? You know what I say? Begone, fungus. Begone from me. I can't get sick from the fungus. It doesn't even grow in my house, because I see it, I just point at it and I say, Jesus telleth to be gone, fungus. Begone. And it leaves, because it is a product of the devil. And the devil cannot existeth in the house of the Lord. Now pray with me, brothers and sisters. Reach deep in them pockets, and donate every cent you can, because we need that money. I mean, we need that money. How am I supposed to spread the good word of the Lord unless it's through private jet? I cannot be flying commercial class. That is where the fungus lives, which is where the devil lives, and I will not be on a plane with the devil. I want you to turn into your book right now while you're thinking, into the good book, while you're thinking about how much you should donate. I want you to turn to John chapter 4, verse 69. He who have even 5 cents to his name should donate it all to the church. So the pastor who leadeth the congregation to the gates of heaven can lead a good and prosperous life. Can I get a amen now?
Guten Abend und herzlich willkommen zu einer Sonderausgabe der Zeit im Bild, meine Damen und Herren. Wissenschaftler warnen vor einem möglichen neuen Verursacher von Pilzinfektionen weltweit. Der Pilz, den Forscher F6JE14 nennen, kann bei bösartigen Infektionen zu einer Krankheitsentwicklung führen, die der Grippe ähnelt. Einige Experten mutmaßen, dass der Pilz aus einem subtropischen Land kommen könnte, wo er sich durch das oft schwüle Klima schnell und effektiv unter der Bevölkerung ausbreiten konnte und nun schon in zahlreichen anderen Ländern beobachtet werden konnte. An konkreteren Informationen mangelt es allerdings noch. Während in Österreich noch keine bestätigten Infektionen aufgetreten sind, versucht besonders Außenministerin Ursula Plasnik, ein Spezialkomitee auf die Beine zu stellen, um Gröberes zu vermeiden. Auch Gesundheitsminister Wolfgang Möckstein will in Zukunft mit Medizinern zusammenarbeiten, um mögliche Infektionsausbrüche schnell zu behandeln. Österreichern wird empfohlen, auf ihre eigenen Körper zu achten und bei unüblichen Symptomen die Hotline anzurufen, die nun eingeblendet wird. Weiters wird empfohlen, sich von ärmeren Gebieten mit vielen Obdachlosen und Flüchtlingen fernzuhalten, da sich der Pilz besonders dort aufgrund der verminderten Hygiene schneller ausbreiten könnte. Wir berichten Ihnen selbstverständlich über jegliche neue Informationen, sobald wir diese bekommen. Um 17 Uhr meldet sich die reguläre Ausgabe der Zeit im Bild wieder. Bis dahin und danke fürs Zuschauen.
Chuck Gunderson here, Suction News 9 update. The CDC is now recommending use of a dental dam during oral sex to help slow the spread of the virus. When asked about eating ass, CDC spokesman Swarthy Peterbilt said, "Nothing's changed in our recommendation there. It's still nasty." More on Suction News 9 tonight.
The CDC cautions against letting any fungus grow within the house. Remove all fungus immediately.
What I'm saying is that it's incredibly rare for most propagules to cross a blood-brain barrier, and when it does, it isn't even acting like any form of cryptococcal meningitis that we've studied before. The terrifying reality is that, okay, this started not too terribly long ago, with a few people getting a really bad cold only to go to the doctor and find out that they had an upper respiratory fungal infection. Most people find that pretty scary, but it's generally pretty easy to treat within certain parameters. You catch it before it's had enough time to do any real and lasting damage, and you're in the clear. But this, we're seeing some cases of new infections that are advancing and deteriorating so rapidly that we can't even come up with a treatment plan to test on them. What was working, what we know has been working on early cases, just isn't anymore. My fear is that this thing is going to start, hell, it is already evolving at a rate that we just can't keep up with.
Don't eat a single potato if it's covered in fungus. Fight the urge, laddies and lasses. Fight the urge. It appears as though rioting is broken out downtown, Tom, as the authorities struggle to keep the rioters at bay. No one knows quite what their demands are, but they are increasingly violent towards the authorities.
The CDC recommends that everyone stays inside at all times for your own safety.
If you are experiencing any of the following symptoms, get to a hospital immediately. First off, if you have a cough, sore throat, runny nose, blurred vision, and most importantly, if you are experiencing... My God, it all happened so fast. This may be the last news broadcast I ever make. I can hear them outside. It won't be long before they get in. Anybody still listening out there, we're going to get through this. These may be the darkest times we've ever faced as a society, but just know, if there's one thing that I've ever learned about human ingenuity... Oh God, they've gotten through! Get the fuck away from me, you... Ah! Thank you to Drew from Tales to Terrify podcast for that intro. As often is the case, I like to put in Drew's intro into our show when I also do a narration for their show. And this time is no different, in fact, as I am part of their 501st episode. Holy crap, that is a ton of content. Have I mentioned you guys should go and check them out? Because why haven't you done so already? Go check them out over at Tales to Terrify, all your podcatchers, and especially because they're even helping me to advertise for my Kickstarter. If you're interested in checking out the episode, it drops on September 3rd, and that's the 501st episode.